When you ask the question of like, how did it feel to have the crush? One of the things that we were talking about is like, it's really fun to have a crush.
Oh my God.
It's so fun.
That is a part.
Especially one that it keeps showing up. So like, even if like, I feel like in those moments, if I'm putting myself in your shoes, I'm like, okay, this is really fucking fun, whether anything happens from here or not, because like, it's fun to be noticed and it's fun to like be kind of doing a little performance for someone who's watching and to think about what are they thinking and to not know. There's I think the part where if you're not patient or if you want something immediately from someone or something to happen where that becomes even more frustrating. And obviously even in your story, there's some of that at like I think it's a coffee shop.
Yes.
Where you're like, and I didn't say hello because I'm trying to deal with this crush and maybe you don't want it, which I adore. But I do think there's just something really fun about living your life knowing that, there's vibes and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I also think that crushes have been super gendered. And so it's always like demeaned like, oh, these girls have crushes, but really like celebrate it, have some fun with it. And so I loved, your story because it was as a way celebrating this crush, these like almost meet cutes happening with this person that I'm like, yes, this is how we need to kind of like consider when dating and being attracted to somebody and learning about them, to just like take it with ease and celebrate. And also, you have times you're in your feels and being like, I can't talk to you because I'm in my feels. Yeah. And I'd like to know. But like crushes are awesome.
They're so fun. Like bring back our notebooks and binders when you will write people's names down.
Yes.
Like doodle their name. Like it's just a part of, again, I feel like because I grew up with sisters, I've never shied away from girlhood and womanhood. I think there's so much magic in that, especially when, again, you know that you can be favored. Like things are actually trying to work out for you. And I just believe if more people took their time and acknowledged their feelings, so much is cut. I think there was an article that came out last year about is having a boyfriend embarrassing? Yeah. And I think at the heart of a lot of that is folks putting a lot of pressure on their attractions. And one, I also feel like it's a flag that we should be looking to queer folks, how queer people are dating, for advice on how to get to know someone from up close and from a distance. Because a big part something that used to be a big part of my dating was not knowing if someone was queer, right? But even with that comes the possibility of connection, right? There's so much technology and like history in terms of how queer people date because for a lot of us, especially queer folks who came into their queerness much younger, where you would be made fun of, you couldn't talk to your families about it, but still we love. Still we love. Still we try to find connection. Yeah. And I think that, I know that history and that knowledge flows through me of why I think I'm so excited to have crushes on girls. And it also feels safer than it ever felt for me to have crushes on men, but we can talk about why that is in terms of interpersonal violence and all these other things. But I think that, again, I taking note of someone wholly, and I think there's a part of every crush where you're like kind of obsessed, where you're looking at everything, and I think we should expand the kind of obsession to not just be about looks, but about like, again, movement through the space, movement. And Ashley, she just moves. Every time I saw her, she was moving through a space, which makes sense because she's a DJ. But and the people she would like the people whose hands she touched or who she hugged or who hugged her were people who I appreciated in my life. Yeah. Right? I could go up to that person and be like, tell me about them. Or she's DJing with another really good friend, Seven, who I really admire since I moved to LA. And again, that's what the beauty of developing a crush inside of a queer community, inside of a queer artist community, where like, who you are will come up. People will be able to ask about you. And I'm big on that too. Like I will ask questions. I'm not afraid to reveal my crush to other folks to be like, so what you know?
Yeah.
What's up? Who they belong to?
Yeah, there's no shame in it.